Jumping into our next story, 8:52. Speaking of the floods, Damac CEO has said the Dubai floods were exaggerated. Hussein Sazrani, Damac Properties chairman, said the floods in the UAE were exaggerated after the UAE was hit with a storm with a year's worth of rain in a day. He said he was speaking to CNBC News. He said, fine, we get some in some malls, some damage, but if the mall is 3 million square foot and if 100-meter leakage or whatever happens, it's not the end of the world, and it was fixed the next day. He acknowledged that there were pockets of problems. I'm not saying no, it didn't happen, but it was overly exaggerated. And in a country like Miami, you actually see these things quite regularly.
And as well, of course, that's today with the environment changing. Of course, you guys, we understand that. And we have seen, by the way, something that everyone goes like, oh my, everyone was like, oh my God, Dubai did not pick up. There's still this area that is flooded. There's still that, and still everywhere, everywhere in the world, you're getting those kind of storms, which is understandable, okay, and Dubai has been hit with that, but they actually managed it very well. And he as well continued by adding that, the preparation was done in advance. In advance. He said the other thing is 2 days before the storm came, because the warning was there. Of course, I had a Zoom call from London with our management, and we agreed to put an action plan, and we took a very good action plan, so we are ready for it, which was the case. A lot of people did actually go like, this area is still flooded, this area is still that, this area, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but in 3 days, a lot of the roads, or let me say the major roads, were actually open, and they were actually, available to people. Maybe some community areas were not, like my area and like some other areas, but they were open, and they were applauded. And a lot of, and mind you guys, it was the biggest storm to ever come. We made it to New York Times.
Yeah, true. Every single international title covered it because the images were so impactful, and when you say there's rain in a storm in a desert, it's going to make headlines. But he said we had zero impact. I mean, zero impact. I'm telling you, 98% of our units, maybe more, were intact. That's from the Damac CEO. I think on one side he's right, because a video of a mall went viral when you saw one store being flushed through. So his point is like, okay, fine, that happened. We fixed it in a day. Did it happen elsewhere in the mall? Like if the whole mall was completely ruined. But his point is these videos went viral, and it went across the world because it's a great story. But how much was the impact? So on a grand scale, we cleaned it within a week. But I think the people who would disagree with him are the people's homes in certain communities where the water level rose in your living room, and the water level in your car outside your home rose. So I think there's two sides to the story. Yes, the city handled it amazingly and were able to bounce back, but on a people side, if your home is flooded, you can't see the bigger picture here. You're looking at your living room and it's still flooded, and the bottoms of your couch are ruined, and there's that side to it too that maybe he doesn't see.
It is actually understandable, but you know what, Casey, is that I feel like as people, because we're human, right? It's very hard to avoid looking at the positive aspect of anything, specifically when something bad happens. It's very hard to be like, fine, you know what, this happened, but this and that happened as well. For example, like, yes, the floods happened. Yes, the storm happened. But UAE bounced back in 3 days. But there are insurance that covered cars and houses and so on and on. You know what I mean? I understand like the thing like, oh my God, this is happening, but it's not happening to you. It's happening collectively to everyone around, and it's like the UAE bounced back in 3 days. So why don't we talk about that?
Yeah, so true. I think, I still look at the people, but I think what the UAE has put in place in terms of the insurance, as you said, has been a great deed. And you're so right. Why are those headlines not making international news?
Yeah.
Like yes, Dubai flooded, but if you have comprehensive insurance, the country is covering it. The country, like, that doesn't happen anywhere, and it's not just for citizens, it's for residents too. So I agree. Where is that in the New York Times headline?